Oh, is it working? 1, 2, 3. Right, hello everyone. I thought while we're at Erzberg, we're not allowed to walk the track this year, we've got some time to kill. I thought I'd do a bike check for the new bike, so here we go. Bike check for the 2024 Husqvarna TE300i in hard Enduro trim. Let's go. Should we go front to back? How do we normally do it? Top to bottom, front to back? What do you reckon? Front to back. Tyres. Michelin, well, tyres hasn't really changed, still Michelin, the tyres are the same as last year. It's actually, my bike currently, quick disclaimer before I start, is set up for the Prologue, so the front tyre doesn't change, but the rear tyre is an Enduro medium, rather than being an extreme, but that's not really worrying about the bike. Handlebars, same handlebars for this year, however, the handlebar mounts, I was on a 10mm spacer before, and now I've gone down to a 4mm spacer. One of the main reasons I did that is because now the head set of the frame is 10mm higher than it was on the old bike. So because the frame's gone up, we've gone lower on the bar mounts to try and get a similar feel, and quite happy with it. Grips haven't changed. Brake clutch hasn't changed. 9mm pump for the clutch, 10 for the front brake. Forks, obviously, we're on the aftermarket WP Explore and Exact shock, or cone valves and tracks if you're still living in previous generation. Set up for hard enduro. We have gone slightly stiffer front and rear. Have I gone stiffer front and rear or just rear? Okay, I was 4.3 springs in the front, now I'm 4.4, and I was a 46 spring on the back, and I'm now 48. So there you go. Obviously, as well, I'm kind of bypassing the point that it is a new bike for this year. Like literally everything's new. It's a new frame, new engine, new swinging arm, new radiators, new exhaust. The new exhaust, actually, you'll see, is way further in and way further up, which so far in my hard enduro experience with it is really, really good. It's actually very impressive how little you smash your front pipe on the new bike. New engine, I don't really know much about the new engine. You're better off asking a mechanic or an engineer or somebody, but it is a lot better. It did take a bit of getting used to, I'm not going to lie. Like when I first got on the new bike, I was a bit like, what's the right word to put it? Because I know it wasn't a negative feeling, it just is so different. Like when you get on it, it's like a completely different bike. So it did take a few weeks, but now I'm at a point with the testing and how I've got it set up that I'm genuinely really, really happy with the bike. And yeah, starting to feel right at home. Foot pegs, we're still using Raptor. I was on 5mm down and 5mm back on the old bike, and but on the new one, we're standard height, but 5mm back. I did actually mention it in another vlog. The standard foot peg on the new model is much bigger than the old one. So Raptor also made their peg bigger, and then me and Manny unanimously decided that we preferred a smaller peg. So the foot peg on our bikes is 2 teeth smaller than the stock Raptor, which I think is going to be available to buy soon. Is that right, Mr. Raptor? If anyone ever wants to know anything about Raptor, just message Stan. Do you want to get involved? You sure? Come on, you get involved.
I'm happy. You're doing a good job.
What's your favourite part of the new bike?
Favourite part?
What to work on as a mechanic?
Yeah.
What is a part which is what's an improvement from last year from a mechanic's perspective? Not that you are much of a mechanic, like, but we'll pretend you are for the purposes of this video.
Wiring.
Wiring's better.
Wiring's much better. A lot more spacious. Everything's got its own underneath the seat and in the side panel. We could probably take the side panel off actually for them.
Well, I was about to say, have you videoed under the seat that little carbon bit? Are they allowed to see that?
Yeah.
Ready? Seat slides forward now. If you didn't know that. I do think that is probably a factory part, and you're probably not going to be able to get it. So don't get too excited about it. It's just on my bike, but it's nice to show you. What were you going to say?
Just the wiring, as I say, it's a lot more spacious underneath the fuel tank. Everything's got its own space. Especially, should we open this side panel for them to look in there?
To be honest, I've not actually even seen a stock bike, so I don't know what's just for factory and what's stock. Well, that's where the air filter goes. I still hadn't really worked it out yet. How often are you meant to change one of them? 6 months?
You don't change it at all.
That's what I mean, they do 6 months on an air filter, won't it? You will obviously also see that it's now You have a metal.
The rectifier, regulator, and the sensor underneath here. Before it used to be on the side of the frame.
Who's taught you what they're called?
Just a guess.
You'll also see now that the swinging arm, the subframe is a plastic aluminium mix of the two. I've been riding it for 2 months now, 3 months. We just use standard subframe at the minute, and I haven't even broke one yet. So I'm sure there's a lot of you subframe haters out there that are going to be happy to know that. Kind of lost track with the back to frontness, haven't we?
No, you're good.
We're going all right.
You're kind of in the middle.
Pipe, obviously FMF. You can probably see that by the stickers on it. The fact it's blue.
Seat height.
Seat height. Oh, that's good. Well done, Stan. I used to only run a high seat for Super Enduro and like motocross. For extreme, I used to use a standard seat. Now I run plus 20 for everything. Just with the way the bike is, you can kind of get away with it. I like it for everything, to be honest. I like the shape of the bigger one. It's good. In general, the fact went on to a new model has been quite good for me, because there was definitely some things with my old bike which weren't set up, I wouldn't say badly, but they were kind of, I felt could be better. So moving on to the new model was kind of like good motivation to like, right, okay, I need to change my setup, and particularly the balance of the bike, the height of my seat and the ride height of the back of the bike was way too low before, and I used to struggle a lot with wheeling and the bike wanting to loop out when I was climbing hills. So with the new bike, I've not at any point really tried to get a similar feeling to the old bike. I've literally just decided the direction I need to head, and so far so good. Like I say, I'm very happy. So now, in fact, I'll be a bit more specific. Before, anything less than 40mm of sagging, I used to really struggle to ride the bike. It used to feel like super big and heavy, and I didn't like the feeling that always. Now with the new bike, I've been able to go down to like just over 30mm sag. Get the back end up to try and stop the wheelie in, and I'm still pretty comfortable. So good shit. Recluse cover, Recluse clutch, but not an automatic one, despite what all of you love to think. Brembo brakes, front and rear, same brake. Brakes are the same, aren't they? Brakes off the old bike would fit the new bike, just in case anyone has the brakes. Wheels are the same.
No. Back.
Oh yeah, spindles are different.
Yeah, back wheels.
Spindles are different, so you probably need to get new spacers if you've got. Just spacers would make people's old wheels fit the new bike. So there you go. See, money saving with Bill. I think that's about it. Comment down below if you've got any more questions. We might do a part 2 if I've missed loads of stuff out and you've got loads more questions. I'm sure Angus has got some lovely B-roll and slow-mo to overlay over the top to get you all close-ups of the niceness. I think it looks sick. I think we have the best looking bike of the group by far. In fact, the best looking bike out of them all. I think it looks bad boy. So happy with the new bike. And yeah. Good shit. Like I say, comment down below if I've missed anything or you want to know anything else. Might do a part 2 if I've missed enough to roll and doing a part 2. If not, thanks for watching. See you in a bit.